Hello and welcome to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about fresh cut flowers that you can bring in from your gardens, or you can receive from uh, a friend, a loved one, or you can just go buy yourself a bouquet of flowers, right? There's nothing wrong uh, with buying yourself some pretty flowers. And when I was a little girl, I used to love, well, I still do love flowers. um, I used to love to see the pretty flowers out in the yard. My mom had all these precious, pretty rose bushes. She had the pretty pinks, the reds, the orange, the yellows, and a lot of peonies and uh, just all kinds of flowers. Snapdragons, pansies, petunias, marigolds, you name it. We had them when I was growing up. And, I always wanted to go and pick one and bring it in the house and put it in a vase. And, you know, well, every great while, Mom would let us, me or my dad or herself even, pick a couple roses and bring them in. But she liked them out in the yard. She loved the way they looked, and they, made the yard real pretty. But this video here, we're not only talking about fresh cut flowers. We're going to be talking about the I guess you could say the metaphysical side of it, of course, but more about the elementals, about the fairies and the gnomes and the little elves that help, that help bring the nutrients. That if you go to the spirit, a little bit on the spiritual side, you talk about the little gnomes that work in the ground, and get the soil ready, and then you got the fairies that flutter around and bring the fragrance out on the flowers, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. And what are some of the we all know what the beauties are, but what are some of the beauties of it? What are some of the downfalls about leaving a bouquet of flowers in your house, or in a room, on a shelf, in a vase, on a table with a vase, and they start to wilt and they're starting to decay? And that's what we're going to be talking about here, what the flowers, gnomes and fairies do. Alright, so let's go ahead now. Flowers have always been a great source of inspiration and energy. They have been used by healers, seers, and poets. Flowers hold strong energy vibrations, as do dried flowers. Now, the decayed or the decaying flowers don't hold that strong energy vibration. The elementals work for the breakdown of the flower to return it to its natural element. So the elementals, the elves and the fairies, are drawn into it for the breakdown. Thus, the energy of the flowers in such states has an inverse energy effect on you. So instead of the flower giving off energy and joy and brightness, you know how flowers make you feel when you get a bouquet of flowers, or you even pick them. Picking the flower, does not bring in the breakdown of the flower. Okay, so again, so instead of the flower giving off energy, they draw it away. So a good idea, if you have a decaying flowers or plants in your house, it's best to put them in a compost outside, away from the house, as to not pull the energy from yourself, as the elves will also pull your energy to assist them in decomposing the plants. Now, wildflowers are okay. They will drain on the natural environment to assist the breakdown. Now, picking a flower example, a rosebud doesn't stop the elf or the fairy elemental. They still assist on opening the flower. As the rose dies, the primary elf or the fairy, the elemental, will die with it. All right, so that is what I have on the energy of flowers, and a little bit about the elementals, the elves and the fairies on that part of nature. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again. Bye now.